She says, do you know how long it took me to find you? I'm getting random calls. And I'm like,
baby girl. Baby girl. Baby girl.
like, TikTok is so freaking funny, bro. Welcome back to my channel. It's Ashley Official. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. And I know y'all really want to know what's going on in this video, as y'all can tell by the title. Y'all, I am a hairstylist. And when I tell you a lot comes with being a hairstylist, I didn't think this came with being a hairstylist. Like, not even gonna lie, bro. If y'all see me looking over there, I'm looking at myself on my iPad so I can see what I'm recording on my extra new camera. But let me tell y'all, so I just want to hop right into it. So I was doing this lady's hair, and I was doing her hair for a very long time. And she was recommending people to me. Okay, cool. Thank you so much for your support. I love it. That's, building that relationship with your clients. You're building that rapport. So she told this lady about me, right? And she does not have locks. Cool. She comes to me. She's an older lady, and her hair is, kind of thin. And I'm giving my recommendations on what she should get, whatever. So we talking, having a nice conversation, making small talk. So I asked her, I said, do you have any kids? That's a common question, I don't want it to be awkward while people are in my chair. I want to, feel like we're, like I know you, like I want to get to know you, not on too much of a personal level, because sometimes clients don't know I'm your hairstylist. I'm not your friend. It does happen. Your clients do become your friends sometimes. But in this case, no. So she proceeds to say out of her mouth, I'm looking for some young lady to have my baby. Mind y'all, I'm behind her doing her hair. She turns like this and says, I'm looking for some young lady to have my baby. And I'm looking like, you don't know me. And what make you think that I like women? Nothing against that. But what make you think you could just say that to me? You don't even know me from a can of paint. Okay? And I was blown away. I was so speechless because I'm like, there's no way. I was so speechless. I didn't even know what to say. Like, I had to really gather my thoughts and be like, did this lady just really say that to me? What is she trying to say? Okay? So, I let that, I didn't say nothing to her about that. Just kept going. And then, she started talking and all this kind of stuff. She was like, oh, if you have, somebody that's bothering you, hence a man that ain't doing right or cheating on you or doing this and that to you, she don't mind popping my tires. Again, I don't know her. She don't know me from a can of paint. What do you mean you're going to pop tires for me? Y'all, I was so blown. And she was like, yeah, because I got this niece. I popped some tires for her. Her boyfriend was cheating on her, doing her wrong. And I'm like, okay, this lady is crazy. All this first appointment, you guys. First appointment. So at this point, y'all, this next part, so freaking crazy. Like, I gotta put some lip gloss on because. So she proceeds to say she was married once upon a time and how she was not from Tallahassee. She was from Virginia and she just moved here from Virginia. And I'm like, oh, do you have any family here? No. What do you do for work? Oh, I'm a nurse. Why would you move from Virginia to Tallahassee? Tallahassee? Tallahassee. You gonna move to 850 from Virginia. Mind y'all, she know this. I used to live in Virginia, so I know what it's like to live in Virginia. So I'm like, why would you move to Tallahassee? Y'all, she said she was married. She said that she used to get, there was a little domestic violence going on in their relationship and all of that. And he was cheating on her. And so she said she had to get her lick back. So, I want to know what you did because I need to know who I'm Who hands I got my head in? So she said that she was talking to his homeboy's wife, made her fall in love, and made the lady think that they're going to be together forever and they're going to run away and be in this fairy tale, even though the lady had kids. But the person here I was doing, she didn't have no kids. The lady thought that, and she was like, no, I'm not going to do that because I don't want to break up any homes. You know, I just want to get back at my husband because he did this and that. Broke the lady heart, right? She ran around finding him, cheating on her, and she popping up at their house. Like, she finding out where they at. She basically stalking him, basically. But I'm like, you don't know. If you got to do all that behind the man, let that man go. Like, no man is worth your sanity. I got to get real with y'all. No man is worth your sanity. No man is worth your freedom. No man is worth your mental health. And I'm learning that. We all have to learn. But listen from big sis. No man worth that. So she then proceeds to say she burnt his house down. So I said, the cops ain't looking for you? She said, no. He knew who burned his house down. First of all, I'm pretty sure they're going to investigate a house burning down. They're not just going to let that slide. A whole house burning down. You got to call insurance. You got to do this. You got to do that. That man ain't just going to let that slide. My job, remember I said she moved from Virginia abruptly to come to Tallahassee to be a nurse. And also at the same appointment, she also was on a phone trying to get an interview with another job in another place. But she just said she moved from Virginia to Tallahassee a month ago in this situation. And now you're trying to move to another job now? Why? When you said the job in Tallahassee was doing you right. Hey, them brain cells, they was working. They was working that day. So one time it had got so bad between her and her husband that he had his hands around her neck and she could not breathe. So she had to play like she was, and he let her go and he panicked and he thought that he did it to her. He's panicking. He walked away. She said she got up, got in the car and left. She always leave the keys in the car and left. She drives to his mama's house. Why would you drive to his mother's house? My instinct would be, I'm gonna call my mama. I'm gonna go to the police station. Blunt driver to his mama house. He know his mama house. He know his mama house that. He know he could get to you at his mama house. I'm gonna drive to the police station because you bold and big and bad. If you're gonna follow me to the police station after you abused me, that's okay. Her elevator cannot go all the way to the top. The next appointment, I told her, hey, come back 4 to 6 weeks. She messaged me around maybe like week 3. It was like, oh, some of them are coming loose. That happens. And I tell my clients, if that does happen, let me know. Her hair was very fine and she had a looser curl pattern too. So I was like, you know what? Come on back. We might could go ahead and, do the first retwist. Now, we can't keep doing that over and over because we don't need thinning, and you're not going to blame me for your hair thinning, and it's already thin. But never mind about that. I'm at the shampoo bowl, and I'm washing her hair. I'm in there. I'm getting her the best massage. I'm giving her the best massage. She's telling me this story. I don't remember what the story was and what it was about. But she proceeds to tell the story with her hands. And she touched my thigh. I look down at my thigh and I'm looking at her and I'm like, please remove your hand from my thigh. Don't touch me. I don't know you. You don't need to touch me. You don't need to touch me to tell any story at all. You don't need to do that. And after that, I'm like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and get her out of here. Finish washing her hair. I tell y'all, she started jumping in the chair. She was like, She was like jumping like that, like she was just. I'm like, damn. Is you cool? Like, is you cool? Like for real? Are you good? When I tell y'all, I went into prayer so fast. I prayed over myself. I prayed over my chair. I prayed over her. I said, Lord, please let her go to sleep. Let me finish this job. At the time, my clientele really wasn't as good. So I said, I'm just going to finish her hair. After this, block her. When I got done praying, when I tell you, it was like a calmness came over her. She went to sleep. Just like that. I finished her hair. She woke up. She said, I didn't even know I fell asleep. I said, got up out of there, blocked her, right? A few weeks go by. I'm getting random calls, and I'm like, who's this? Oh, this is so and so. And I'm just like, what do you want? I blocked you. Oh, I really need my hair done. I had to go back to Virginia, and I need my hair done real bad. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Please, can I please get my hair done? So I fell for the okie doke. I did. Mind y'all, at the time, I wasn't having people upload their ID. That's why if you book with me, you have to upload your ID. I don't care who you are. If I don't know you for real, you have to upload your ID. Because this situation really made me do that. But back to the story. She gets there. And it's 8 o'clock in the morning, you guys. Remember that. She walks in, and at this suite I had, it was underneath the bank. So it was like I was in the basement. So my suite was underneath the bank. I was the only one in the building at the time. Y'all, who at my door? Okay. I also had a suite mate. Like, it was like 2 suites in one. So, but she wasn't there. I love her down. She's my bestie. But before that, I told my mom, I was like, Mom, this lady is coming, and I might have to have you come up here and sit with me. Yeah, I was prepared. I had my little pocket knife with me. I had some hairspray. So if she tried something, she wasn't gonna try me again. And I was definitely gonna be calling 911. Okay? And my mom was on 10. Okay, my mom don't play by me. So she gets there and we're at the bowl. She was like, yeah, I'm about to move to Jacksonville. Mind y'all, first appointment, you move from Virginia. You move to Panama City. Now you're moving to Jacksonville. I told her, I said, you're going to have to find a new loctician because I cannot do your hair anymore. She says, do you know how long it took me to find you? I'm not going to anybody else. Yes, you are. You're not. No, we're not going to do this. Like, I don't know. You're crazy. I don't feel comfortable around you. You're talking all this crazy stuff. You're telling me you're burning down houses. You're telling me you're doing this. You're telling me you're doing that. And I don't even know you. I could be the police and you telling me all of your business. You telling me all these crimes you committed. And she was like, yeah, but I ain't doing nothing but going to chase behind some tail. I don't care if you was going to do it. I don't give a like, I don't care. I really don't care. And I just said, remember it's 8 o'clock in the morning. I ain't trying to do all that talking. And you crazy. I really don't want to do your hair. I really don't want to do your hair. So after that, took her to the chair. She gets in the chair, I think I was playing music. I don't think I had a TV at that time. I can't remember. And the dryer came on by itself. Y'all, I almost lost my shit. When I tell you, she said, oh, did that scare you? I'm not going to tell you if it did scare me, y'all. It did scare me at the time. But I'm not going to tell you it scared me. No. What you trying to say? What you indicating? You trying to tell me you turn that dryer on without even touching it? What? I don't know what you got going on, but I rebuked her right there then, and I prayed. I got done her hair. I never did her hair again. I go on TikTok. I had made me a new TikTok. You know, the one that I'm using now. She follows me on TikTok. I knew it was her because the wallpaper on her phone screen was this wolf. And I remember that picture very vividly. It was a profile picture on her TikTok. And it had her name on there. But when I tell y'all, I realized that wasn't even her real name. I'm looking up her nursing license, nothing. I'm looking up on Facebook, nothing. I'm looking up on Instagram, nothing. I'm looking up about her email, nothing. I couldn't find nothing at all. I'm like, who is this lady? So, block that account immediately. So the lady that referred her to me came back, and I was like, yeah, I can't do her hair no more. I told her the story. She was like, yeah, so and so is crazy. She was even being weird to her. Like, she was being messy with her. Y'all, this lady was in her 50s. I'm like, you are too mature to be doing that. Like, sit down. Excuse me. But that lady was she was crazy. And she eventually asked her, could she book an appointment for her with me? The lady told her no. I said, I'm glad you did because you would have been blocked too. You wouldn't have been able to come back either. And as we were talking about the situation, y'all won't believe what happened. The lady called mid conversation. I said, oh, this is creepy. I rebuke her right now in the name of Jesus. You got to go. You got to go. You finna get cut off because you connected to her. But they really didn't talk that much, but they did keep in touch or whatever. But she was still even acting crazy with the lady. Like, she was telling her that she was gonna burn down something else. I ain't gonna say what she said she was gonna burn down, but she said she was gonna do it if so happened. And I'm like, this lady is crazy. And she was saying how she was like, it sounded like she was really serious about what she was gonna do. And I'm like, this lady needs help. But we also talked about her being a nurse. She wasn't a nurse. She didn't even go to nursing school yet. You're a liar. You're telling me the crimes you committed. You're stalking me. Thank y'all so much for watching and tuning in. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe to my channel. And yeah, if y'all want more story times, let me know. Because baby, my life is full of stories. Nobody would believe me. But yeah, thank y'all so much for watching. See y'all next time.